80 to 90% of online coaches fail within the first year. That sounds like a depressing statistic, doesn't it? And yet there are coaches who make it, who get there, who go all the way. And there are reasons for that. There are reasons that include knowing who you are and having self-mastery, trusting your intuition, and having a sustainable plan in place that allows for the long-term growth. Not this flash in a pan sprint, but a marathon that you are set up for success to win. Check out this episode where I'm going to talk about all of these things and a little bit more so that you can be one of the top 10% coaches that make it. Do you have a plan for your business, or are you kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall in the hopes that something will stick? I don't know how many times I have done this in my own business, and I have worked with clients who are also doing this. And it's a little bit like plugging holes in a boat, hoping that we won't sink. And having a strategic plan in place is really the key to long-term growth in your business. Now, you must have self-mastery and know who you are, and you absolutely must have a way of expressing yourself, but without a plan, you're not going to get very far. And I know for spiritual coaches, for spiritual entrepreneurs, it's really hard to work within the structures and the confines of a strategy. I don't know how many times I've tried different strategies and not liked pieces of it, hated doing this part, hated doing that part. And so the way that I work with my clients is to really support you in what I call creating a sandbox for your intuition to play in. I know that it is so fun to run down the beach naked and have so much fun, and you feel free and you can create and you can do whatever you want. And that doesn't create sustainability in your business. So that's for the personal life. But for your business, you need a little bit of structure. You need a sandbox for your creativity and your intuition to play within. And this is where the work that I do, the law of divine timing, comes into play. The law of divine timing has 6 stages to it that when we know how to leverage them, we can use them to our advantage in our business. Super important. This was a game changer for me when I started working with different strategies, when I started to understand the different ebbs and flows within my business and how to leverage that. And so I could create a strategic plan and build myself a sandbox where I could bump up against the edges of that sandbox, knowing that I could play within there and do whatever I wanted in there and let my creativity flow and offer up all sorts of magic within that structure. Without a plan that's flexible and that fits who you are, it's going to be very difficult for you to have any sustainable growth in your business. I've tried. I've worked with clients who have tried. Have you ever offered one-off coaching sessions? Have you ever offered one-off readings and then never talked to the client again? So you're offering these $150, $200 sessions, but there's no long-term strategy behind that. There's no follow-up for the client. There's no check-in process. There's no what's next. And it's so important that we have these pieces in place so that it's a no-brainer for you. When you have some structure in place in your business, it makes it so much easier for you to wake up in the morning knowing what you're doing every day, every week, every month, every year, and letting your creativity play because you've got that structure in place. It's the foundation for your business that allows you to do what you absolutely love in your business: helping people, creating impact. These are the things that you love to do. So building the foundation first allows you to do more of what you love in your business. So if you find yourself struggling or you don't have a plan in place, you feel like you're plugging holes in a boat, hoping that you don't sink, and you're throwing spaghetti at the wall, all the metaphors. If you feel like this in your business, reach out to me, book a call with me. Let's have a conversation of how I can help you. The link will be in the show notes. You can grab that and let's have a chat, because I am sick and tired of seeing coaches 80 to 90% of coaches fail within the first year. That's not right. That statistic needs to change. And it changes when you've got a divine timing foundation for your business that helps you be unstoppable. So book a call, let's have a conversation. Do you feel like your intuition is your greatest ally? Do you listen to your intuition? Do you allow your intuition to guide you, or are you allowing the to-do list to guide you? You know, having a solid structure in place for your business and a foundation to build upon and allow your creativity to play is so important. And your intuition needs to be the driver, needs to be the one making the decisions, not your ego, not that to-do list, not the overwhelm, not the 52 million things that need to be done. Wealth can come from any direction. It can flow through your business and through you in any way you desire. And you get to decide what that looks like. Having a strategy in place only works if you're involved. It only works if your higher self is coming to the playground. Oftentimes I see people trying to plug themselves into an already built strategy and then suffering because of it, because it's either painful, it's complicated, or it's really out of alignment with how you want to create and how your higher self wants to move things out into the world. So for example, somebody who, really wants to be writing and their soul just craves writing and wants to be an author, to tell that coach to go and stuff themselves into a strategy around podcasting and vocalizing and speaking, this is going to be very painful. It's not going to work. These cookie cutter strategies of, just have a Facebook group and you'll make millions of dollars, or just buy this Instagram course and you'll make millions of dollars. Just post reels of me pointing and dancing and you'll make millions of dollars. It doesn't work. You need to have a well-rounded strategy that fits you, and the only one who can know what that is you, your higher self. So your intuition needs to come and play at the playground. Your intuition needs to be looking at strategy and going, I love that and I don't love that, so I'm going to take what works and leave the rest. With that being said, try things. Don't just say, no, I'm not doing it because you're afraid. Try things out and see. It's like telling a little kid, try your vegetables, and they say, no, I don't like it. Well, the little kid won't know they don't like that vegetable until they try. Same thing with you. You won't know if you like public speaking until you try. You won't know if you like writing content unless you try. So give it a try. Give every strategy a try. Maybe not all of them, but give some strategies a try. But then take what works and leave the rest. Excuse me. Just because somebody, created a Facebook group and got lucky, or did a whole bunch of other work behind the scenes that you're not seeing, and now they're telling you this one strategy of build a Facebook group and you'll be rich, doesn't mean that that's the right strategy for you. Your greatest ally in your business and in your life is your higher self, your intuition. So it's not about listening and blindly following what everybody else says that you need to be doing. It's not about being somebody's yes girl or yes man. It's not about deferring to everyone else's opinions. It's about going out and being curious and being open and being willing to try new things, but also being very hyper discerning of what's right for you and what's not. Can you feel the passion that you have for the work that you do? Can you feel that, when that excitement and that sense of giddiness and childlike wonder when you think about the clients you get to work with, the work you get to move out into the world, the creativity that you get to experience? That passion is so needed for our businesses. And yet, so often what I see is this flash in a pan of passion without the big picture, without looking at the long term and how that passion needs to be a long, slow burn. This is something that has stood out to me for quite some time when it comes to building a business. I see so many coaches failing so quickly or giving up so quickly because lack of confidence, lack of finances coming in, lack of clients, lack of visibility, and giving up because we're not looking at the big picture. Building a business is a marathon, not a sprint. Building a business requires that passion to be driving your dream, not your to-do list. Because I will tell you something about being a business owner. When you get up in the morning and there's a bunch of things on your to-do list that you're not passionate about, but you still got to do them, you're going to need the long, slow burn. You're going to need the deep burning why. You're going to need to know why you are doing what you're doing. Because if you're doing it for a flash in the pan, then go for it. You're probably in the wrong place if you're watching this video. But if you're doing this for the long term because you want to create impact and wealth and you want to create massive change in the world and you want to make a difference, then you need the passion that is sustainable, not that quick flash and then back down. Not that, oh my God, I'm so inspired, and then the next day it's gone. We need that inspiration to be a long haul. So this is a beginning of a journey as we get passionate, as we start building businesses. It's the beginning of a journey that you look back at years later and marvel at the things you've learned, at the skills you've gained, at the people you've met, at the connections you've made, the community you've created, the impact you've created. You look back 20 years from now and you're going to be in awe. But if you're not thinking 20 years from now, you'll never get there. It will be the spaghetti at the wall, the plugging the holes in the boat, hoping something's going to work. I'm inspired today and not tomorrow. Today I want to create a bunch of things, and tomorrow I want to binge watch Netflix and cry. And that's okay too. Binge watching Netflix and crying is allowed. And the long, slow burn, the marathon versus the sprint is what gets you up in the morning and allows you to get to the things that need to get done that aren't so fun in your business. That burn is the thing that's going to help you do hard things. Because one thing I know about you and I know about me is that we can do hard things. We are not weak. We are powerful. And we can conquer and we can do things and we can learn things and we can do scary things. But if we don't know why we're doing it, we will be easily distracted. We will be easily triggered. We will be easily pulled off track. And we will be easily sat down in front of Netflix, not doing the thing because we're frustrated or somebody triggered us or I just don't want to. And so we need to make sure we're coaching ourselves through this, or having support of somebody who can coach you through this, holding your space for you to tell you, you can do this until that you can see it for yourself. Because like I said, building a business isn't about this flash in the pan. There's no such thing as this overnight success. You see it online all the time and people are like, I made $60,000 in 24 hours. Probably, but they also did a whole bunch of work, inner work and outer work on the way to that. And they're not telling you about that part. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So, do you have passion for every part of your business? Or do you only have passion for the quick flash in the pan? We need to find that deep burning why. Do you ever feel like the overwhelm tends to take over sometimes, where maybe you've got your plan in place, you've got this sandbox for your intuition to play in, and you're ready, and you've got your vision, and you know why you're doing what you're doing, and then you sit down to do some work, and you're like, oh crap, there are so many things to do. And that to-do list just keeps getting longer and longer. And then you're also trying to figure out how to take care of your kids and navigate your relationship and take care of your health. And I need time for self-care too. And I don't think I can get it all done. I don't think I can do all of this. And so you take a step back, thinking that you need to take care of one thing and not give yourself the full spectrum of an extraordinary life. I'm here to tell you that you can have it all. You can absolutely have the business, the family, the relationship, the health, the well-being, the wealth, the kittens. You can have it all. Whatever it is that you desire to experience, it's yours if you maintain one step at a time rule. This has been something that, I think all of us entrepreneurs struggle with struggle with overwhelm sometimes, where we get caught up in the mundane of the to-do list and we get caught up in the noise, and then there's all these notifications to check, and then there's all these emails to answer, and there's these 52 million things I need to do, and I also want to build this signature offer, and I got to post to social media today, and it just gets noisier and noisier and noisier and noisier, and pretty soon you're like, I can't do any of it. It is a very common thing. And the fastest path to closing down the overwhelm is to close your eyes and take a deep breath. Remind yourself that this is a marathon and not a sprint, and you don't have to do it all right now. You only need to do what's next. And you ask yourself, what is the next thing I need to do? And maybe that's take a nap, maybe it's go for a walk, maybe it's build your signature offer, maybe it's connect with so-and-so on social media, maybe it's make a phone call, whatever it is. But whatever that what next is all you need to focus on. It's all you do. You do what's next. I call this the what's next rule because there may be 52 million steps after that, but until you take that what's next step, you don't know what those other 52 million things might be. Maybe you're inspired to reach out and make a phone call and connect with somebody, and that somebody just happens to know someone who's looking to intern and help somebody out with their website, and so they can come and help you build that sales page. Maybe you are inspired to go for a walk, and going for a walk is what's next. And as you're on your walk, you are inspired to turn right instead of left on your regular route. And you go to the park and you run into somebody who is your absolute dream client, and they are the perfect person and they really want to work with you. You don't know what's possible until you do what's next. So I come from a project management background of seeing the big picture and then reverse engineering step by step, all the way to the very beginning, and then creating a massive to-do list and getting to work. And all that does is create control, and it does not leave room for possibilities. It does not leave room for the universe to support you. It's telling the universe, I've got this and I don't need your help. Well, I like the universe's help, and I love possibility. And so, yes, I have a to-do list of 52 million things to do. But the only thing I do is what's next. And so I ask you, what's next for you? On that big to-do list, what's next for you? And maybe it has nothing to do with the to-do list at all. When you look at your business, do you ever question where your communication may have gone a little wonky? As in, your relationships in your business may have gone a little wonky and sideways. What do I mean by this? I mean, what's your relationship with money? Have you checked in with money anytime recently? Have you checked in with your relationship with social media recently? Have you checked in with your relationship with yourself recently and your higher self? Have you checked in with your relationship with your business, with notifications, with your email inbox? What relationships feel a little off kilter right now? And where can you create a little more stability? I think it's easy for us to get caught up in the day-to-day and doing the things and taking action, and then there's papers everywhere, and maybe the inbox is getting a little full, and maybe there's some notifications you haven't responded to, and maybe there's ideas all over the place, and maybe I haven't looked at my money for a while, and maybe I haven't taken care of myself for a while. And in that, there's an invitation to take a step back and slow down, remembering that this is a marathon and not a sprint. To build this business means one step at a time. And so looking at those relationships, I mean, as a business owner, if you don't have a strong relationship with your finances, we're going to have some problems. If you don't have a strong relationship with you and your higher self and your intuition, we're going to have some problems. Those relationships need to be maintained. It's not like you can go into a relationship with a significant other and then not talk to them for 6 months and think that that relationship is still going to work out. There needs to be two-way communication in all the relationships in your business. That means social media, that means your offline marketing, that means your bank accounts, that means everything. It means you. Are you having a two-way dialogue with yourself on a regular basis? Or just once every 6 months? That's not going to work out very well, right? And I laugh because, I feel like I'm exaggerating a little bit. And I feel like as you are listening to this, you are talking to yourself often. But are you talking to yourself in a really supportive way? Are you talking to yourself, beating yourself up because you didn't get it done enough, or you're not doing enough, or I'm not taking enough action in my business, or I'm not posting to social media enough? Or are you saying, you know what? I did a really good job today. I'm really proud of myself. I took care of my health. I took care of my business. I talked to my money. I talked to my significant other, and I talked to me in a loving and kind voice. Notice where the communication may have gotten a little off kilter. And this is an excellent opportunity right here, right now, to look at those relationships and set up some new foundations for them. To really come to a place of, instead of winging it, thinking about your approach to all of these different relationships. And instead of being haphazard about it, of, oh man, I got to deal with my taxes, I need to go and sort that out. And then you pull the shoebox out from under the bed and start sorting out receipts, and you haven't touched your money for like 6 months or longer. What if you were to set some sort of structure up for yourself where you're checking in with your money once a week or once every 2 weeks and staying on top of it and communicating in that relationship so that it doesn't go wonky? Because I can tell you from experience, not speaking with somebody or with something or with an energy for 6 months or more ends the relationship. If you don't talk to your money for 6 weeks, for 6 months, you're going to have a hard relationship and you're going to have to rebuild it. If you don't talk to your clients for 6 months or longer, you're going to have to rebuild that relationship. So much can change in 6 months or 3 weeks or a year, whatever it might be. So be aware of those relationships that are important for your business growth. Get some foundation around them, put them in your calendar, set calendar reminders, get yourself a little bit more organized in the development and maintenance of those incredibly important relationships. You will thank me later. I know structure and stability and foundations and systems don't sound much fun, but I promise you, they are the sandbox for all of the fun and bliss and creativity that you get to play with once you have that foundation in place. Do you catch yourself waiting for the moment to take action? The perfect moment to launch your offer, the perfect moment to put out that beautiful graphic, the perfect moment to post to social media. I hear this all the time of, what's the best time for me to post to social media? I think if we all knew that, we'd be posting at the right time and then it wouldn't work anyways. So what's the point in trying to figure that out? You know enough, you are skilled enough, your graphics are pretty enough, your offer is good enough to take action, to go out there and take a leap on yourself and understand that you've got this. You can trust yourself, you can trust your intuition, and you can know that no matter when you do something, so long as you do it is what matters most. If you're waiting for the perfect moment, you will never, ever, 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 ever take action. If you're waiting until your signature offer is perfectly dialed in and organized, you're never going to take action. If you are waiting for your website to be built, you're never going to be taking action. And I'll tell you right now, as an entrepreneur, you do not need a website in order to make money. That is the last thing you need. When you're waiting for that perfect moment, you're only waiting for yourself to be courageous enough to take the leap. You're going to learn along the way. You're going to learn new things. You're going to learn new skills. You're going to find out. So be curious, be open, be willing to take that leap. Put yourself out there and find out. The only way to learn something new is to go find out. Just like when you were a kid and you were learning to walk, you fell down a few times, but you kept getting back up and you learned how to walk. Just like every skill or modality that you have, you felt really uncomfortable with it in the beginning. And oh my God, are people going to trust me? I'm a numerologist. I work with numerology all the time. The first time I did a numerology reading, Facebook Live, I was terrified. I didn't know what I was doing, but I found out that I did know what I was doing. I found out that I did know enough. And I found out that people loved it. And so I continued to do it and I got better and I built my skill even more. But if you're waiting for that perfect moment, if you're waiting for that moment when you know you've got it, you're never going to get there. So take action now. You're going to have your structure and your foundation and your sustainable plan and your long, slow burn of passion for the why you're doing what you're doing. And then you're going to trust yourself and you're going to take the leap and you're going to find out. That is how you grow as an online business coach, as a spiritual coach, as someone who wants to create massive amounts of impact and income.